Canadian politics is boring, juicy bits.
Canadian politics is boring, juicy bits.
Hello and welcome to another Juicy Bits, the weird shorter version where we react to the news and stuff in the news.
Yay! Reese and I are still working on the Canadian Politics is Boring cruise ship / camping event of the year.
Camping on a ship. Ship camping.
The really big problem we have is they won't let us set a fire on the deck.
And also our show's not big enough to justify a cruise.
Yet. I mean...
Yeah, well, you can have a dream.
We can have a dream.
It could be one of those smaller, like, German river boat cruises.
I did have
12 people.
I did have 2 people show up at my place in Montreal, and we sat around and...
Yeah, and I met someone in Toronto.
Yeah, right.
It's 3 people.
Right, okay.
I mean, we met them in the city. We're expecting people to travel somewhere else for us. It's probably not going to work. Anyway, I wanted to talk about this thing, huge news story this week. Huge news story that I have no doubt that you have
Never
watched and devoured and analysed in your head. Why are you making a tapping noise with a pen? Have you been in a fucking studio before?
It's good to see you too, Reese.
So Justin Trudeau announced that there's credible evidence that India, the government of India, assassinated a Sikh leader in Canada who was a Canadian citizen. So essentially...
Say that again?
So the Indian government assassinated a Canadian citizen who was a Sikh with a Canadian passport who lived in Canada. So essentially the Indian government killed a Canadian citizen.
In Canada?
In Canada.
Holy shit.
So... and they've said they've got credible evidence that India is responsible for the alleged assassination of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, a prominent Canadian Sikh leader, and claimed that India is denying and calling it absurd. But a lot of the other Western countries have kind of closed ranks because they're like, hey, they could do this in our country too, kind of thing.
Wow.
So it's kind of like, it's almost like it takes me back to the
How are they assassinated?
I'll have a look now. Something old school, I expect.
Like,
I don't know what that means, but
old school assassination, like bow and arrow. What?
He was shot dead.
Okay.
They've expelled some Indian officials from Ottawa, but essentially, I think he was shot dead outside a Sikh temple in Vancouver, in a suburb with a large Sikh population, and that was 3 years after India designated him a terrorist.
Wow. Why was he designated a terrorist?
Because he supported the demand for a Sikh homeland in India's northern state of Punjab, the birthplace of the Sikh region which borders Pakistan. He was reportedly organizing an unofficial referendum in India for an independent Sikh nation at the time of his death. So he was kind of trying to like say, hey, the Sikh population needs his own chunk of India. Kind of like a breakaway chunk of India. And
this labeled him as a terrorist because of this.
Yes. And then he got taken out, and the
Jesus
CSIS, so the Canadian spy department, believe that. So it does take me back to the Cold War. I mean, Russia was poisoning people with radioactive tea for years.
Jesus.
So this kind of thing does happen, but
this is insane.
But for the Prime Minister to call India out so publicly, having just come back from India, where apparently he was humiliated and his plane broke down.
What?
You didn't see that either?
No, tell me what this.
So apparently,
I get all my news through you, Reese. Like,
so Trudeau was in India, and he didn't dress up this time. He just kept his suit.
Okay.
And apparently, he was kind of shunned a bit by, shunned a little bit by world leaders, and kind of like in diplomatic ways, kind of pushed aside because I don't know, because I guess he's like seen as a global liberal villain.
A global liberal villain.
Exactly. Exactly. And then also, whenever...
Yeah, healthcare for all, see? Yeah.
Exactly. Look at that sick bastard. He wants all children to be literate. Makes my blood boil. Yeah. Anyway, terrifying liberal Justin Trudeau was sidelined by world leaders, and apparently, when he tried to fly home, his plane broke down, so he got stuck in India for a bit longer too.
Do you think that was on purpose? Like, I think someone tried to get his plane to crash?
I don't know. I don't know.
Interesting.
I mean, just who knows, Jess?
Interesting.
Maybe they were hiding some snakes on his plane. Which, from what I've heard, is the most effective way to assassinate.
Yeah. You're not wrong. They made a movie about it. That's how
I know, exactly. It's
people have been doing it for years, and someone's like, why haven't we made a movie about this?
That's why they don't let you take your snake with you on the plane anymore.
Exactly. Yeah,
exactly. That's why they check your shoes for snakes.
That's why you're patting you down.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just for snakes.
Exactly. You're only allowed small worms on planes these days.
Yep.
Yeah. You can buy the snakes you buy in the airport. They're okay to fly. So anyway, it just so was quite interesting.
So expensive.
So he got humiliated in India. His plane broke down. Then he came back and then he announced this. Now I'm sure it wasn't him having a strop.
A what?
Like him having like a bit of a tantrum.
A strop?
Like stropping, like a tantrum, like a wobbly.
That is not a word.
Stroppy.
I feel like you're just.
Well, someone's in a bad mood.
I've never heard. This is not something that I am familiar with.
Okay. Well,
No. I want to focus.
He's
on
had a bit of a tiz.
A tiz.
Yeah,
I've heard a tiz.
His knickers were in a twist.
His knickers. Yeah, I've heard that one.
Yeah.
But he's being stroppy.
I just wondered, did
you make that up, or is that a Welsh thing?
No, that's like a British thing.
It's a British thing.
Yeah, it's stropping.
Stropping.
Look at him over there having a strop.
I've never. That's amazing. I'm going to try to incorporate that into my language.
You should. Look at this sharing.
As soon as this podcast, we're going to go have a strop.
Yeah, so my theory is, did Trudeau have this information and was waiting for a time to release it, or did he come back from India pissed and was like, "Fuck him, I'm going to release this information now"?
From what I've heard,
because there's a lot of Trudeau India news.
I don't know anything about Trudeau right now. I've heard people saying he's doing a great job. I've heard people saying he's doing a terrible job. But this is what happens with any fucking prime minister who stays in office long enough. To quote Batman, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Or both.
Or I guess. Yeah, right. And so like,
well, if those snakes got him on the plane, he would have died a hero. I
have heard that Justin Trudeau is something of a man-child. I don't know if this is true. I just kind of heard this. So if that's true, I mean, I wouldn't put it past him to be a little bit, stroppy.
Well, I imagine being the son of a prime minister, you're probably used to having your own way.
Oh,
and also everyone wanted to talk to you and fresh paint wherever you go. And people laughing at your jokes, even though they're shit.
That's interesting. Yeah, okay. All right.
I mean, I don't know if his jokes are shit, but I imagine people would laugh even though they were.
So I'll say that I wouldn't put it past him, to be petty.
Well, he's like, I mean, it changed the news headlines from Trudeau humiliating India to Trudeau calling India out for assassinating someone. Well,
here's the thing. Like, it's, from what I understand, to be a really good politician, your job is to make friends with everybody. Everybody. Right? You want good economic relations with every country on the fucking planet. And if something bad happens, unless it's war, if something bad happens, you've got a whole fucking team of people who are writing shit for you, who are like having meetings with you, telling you how to deal with this so that we don't damage the relationship we have with this country. Right? He did not do this, it seems.
No, exactly. But he's like, if I'm going down, India's going down with me.
Exactly.
So
I'll go with that. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. And apparently, so there's a big international incident going on because of that. But, I like to remember the plane. But I mean, I'm joking. Somebody died.
The plane? What?
The plane breaking down story. I thought that was quite fun.
Somebody died?
The man got shot.
Oh, what?
The man was assassinated.
On Justin Trudeau's plane?
No, not because I was joking. I said I like to remember the plane story more, and then I remembered that the assassination story was bigger because somebody actually died.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay,
yeah.
I got very confused for a second.
Sorry, is my ADHD brain was kind of skipping between the files. Yeah, in a non-linear way. So anyway, so that's the latest.
Nice.
India versus Justin Trudeau. Who would win in a fight?
Oh,
not Canada. Just Trudeau.
Just Trudeau
with his top off versus India as a country.
Can we make that into a photo? I'd like to see that. That'd be great.
It'd be like a scene from 300.
This is.
I am Justin.
I am Justin, not this is Sparta. I am Justin, and then he chest kicks India into a pit. Yeah. That's,
or one person, and then there's another billion people with nuclear weapons and the capability to travel to space going after him.
right. Okay. This is getting weird.
It's not the kind of country you want to pick a fight with. That's my point.
I don't think. Yeah.
If you're going to pick a fight with a country, pick, I don't know, like San Marino or something.
San Marino.
San Marino
San Marino.
is one of the world's smallest countries.
You made that up.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I'll look.
It's getting right into Google. Okay, I got it.
San Marino,
San Marino.
country in Europe. There we go.
Give it a slogan.
San Marino is a mountainous microstate surrounded by north-central Italy. Among the world's oldest republics, it retains much of its historical architecture.
I see.
Population, 33,000. Area, 61 square kilometers. Here we go. I'd much rather one-on-one go against San Marino than India.
Tiny. It's itty bitty. It's cute. It's
mountainous, but I reckon with enough time and a baseball bat with nails in it, I could probably beat them.
them as in everybody.
As in San Marino.
Jesus, Reese.
If you think you could take on a country, name the country in a speak pipe and tell us what weapon you would use.
This is getting real fucking dark.
CanadianPoliticsIsBoring.com or speakpipe.com/Canadian Politics is Boring.
I don't know.
Or email us, CanadianPoliticsIsBoring@gmail.com. Which country would you take on and how would you take them on?
This is not gonna end well.
If you're from San Marino, I'm not actually going to do it. It's just an idea.
Oh, God. All right. Well, I think I'm going to end it there.
Bye, San Marino. Bye, everyone.
Thanks so much for listening and sticking us in your ear holes just the way you like it. I have been Jesse. This has been Reese. We'll see you fuckers next time.
And San Marino was once a country until I turned up.
Canadian politics is boring, juicy bits.
Canadian politics